All right, so I intentionally filmed my hips, my knees, and my ankles to show you how to properly execute a squat, because at the end of the day, you got to become efficient at the movement. The squat itself isn't a bad movement if you know how to execute it. Most people don't, and one link in the chain isn't strong, so something else has to take over. So just practice on those steps, and I guarantee you become efficient at those steps, and you can increase your depth, you can increase your mobility. You only get better at squatting by doing squats. So you can do all the mobility and the stretching you want to, but you have to execute the squat properly to get good at it. So I hope that helps some of y'all, and the next video, I think we're gonna work our way up a little higher, maybe even to a front squat, a goblet squat.
All right, so the next thing we need to go over is the width of our heels. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do, kick off these Birkenstocks. Bam. Got that. Bam. All right. Now, my width of my heels are going to be determined by how mobile my ankles and hips are. So me personally, I have a good mobility, so my knees contract forward and out like that. Okay. Now, a lot of people will get their feet this close and they think they can let their knees just track forward. And whenever they get to the bottom, you see how their knees start to turn out and their heels start to turn out. Remember, foundation is the key. We don't want our foundation to move once we set our feet. So beforehand, get your feet and foundation set. Externally rotate the knees, toes down, grab the ground with my feet. All right, knees out, butt back in between my legs. You can see my adductors fire. Okay, now from a side view, you're going to be able to see my hamstrings fire. All right, we're going to break this down into multiple videos. Okay, so for right now, we're just working on the actual hip hinge and engaging the glutes, rotating the knees out, and stacking joints on top of each other. Remember, we don't want our feet to go inside. See what happened when my feet roll inside? My feet roll inside. My arches disappear. Where do my knees go? So I want to push my ankles out, knees out, toes down, and you can see my arch appear again. Remember, the keys to squat are always going to start from the ground up. My feet are my foundation. So if I was to go to the side angle, you can see how tight my whole body is right now. All right. So once again, feet this far forward, a lot of people aren't going to be able to let their knees track forward without their heels coming up, okay, or their ankles rotating out or their toes rotating out. Okay, so go ahead and get your base first. My heels are slightly outside of my hips. Externally rotate the knees, push the toes down, push the hips back and the butt behind you. Then I'm going to descend into the bottom of my squat. Okay, the next part we're going to go over is how to sit back onto the box to let your butt go in between your legs. Now, if you can't do these steps, you do not need to have a barbell on your back. So make sure you master these steps before you attempt to put a barbell on your back. You can have a kettlebell in front of you. You can use body weight. But the key is to be able to start with the foundation, ground up, ankles, knees, hips, hike, stack those joints on top of each other. All right, we're gonna bow the ankle out, toes down. All right, knee out, hips back, joints are not stacked. When I go down, push onto my hamstrings. Now, when I stand up, stack those joints right back on top of each other. And this is going to be a key to developing a powerful squat. I hope this helps somebody. Next video, I'm gonna give you a side view and we're going to see how to properly sit back onto a box, engaging your hamstrings, controlling your pelvis.